Hi, welcome back to another Insider. And today I will talk about another aspect of your website. Last week I spoke about connecting your contact form to your Microsoft 365. And today I talk about another dilemma that you might find when you build your own website, which is choosing a template, dealing with a template, all the bugs and glitches and problems that you can find with WordPress templates and now the new WordPress blocks. So come with me, let's talk about your templates, plugins to make your templates better, etc., etc. Let's talk templates. So if you want to build your own website, chances are, or definitely, you will start by a template. Most of websites these days are built in WordPress because, let's face it, it is the most cost-effective, easy way to build a website without any very expensive subscriptions. And if you're not a coder, if you don't code, you don't know anything about HTML languages, CSS, JavaScript, PHP, etc., of course, you are going to stay away from, tools like, for example, Dreamweaver, which by no means I used to love to build my website in Dreamweaver and code it myself. But these days, it's a very, very expensive subscription, which for me does not make sense because I would be paying for a very expensive subscription just for one website, just for use, to, in my case, put some articles. My website these days doesn't even have a blog anymore. So it would be just paying for a subscription that I would use just every now and then to see if everything was okay and update and things like that. So obviously it didn't make sense for me. If you are a web designer, then it might make sense to you. But WordPress these days, even web designers, that's what they use because everything is really simple to do. Saves you time because you have everything in one spot. You have the use of plugins that allow you to do this and that and modify those templates. I know, and this was something that happened to me. If you really like to build your own websites, when you start dealing with templates, you might, I like to do something that I can call my own. I went through that when I transitioned from Dreamweaver to WordPress, but honestly, if I have to look back, and I would say I made the right decision, and I think you can still make your website, your template, your own. You can leave your own mark on a template and create your own website with your own touch, even if you are using a template that was created by someone else. So that part is solved in my mind. But these days, and after the pandemic, I must say, there was the need because a lot of businesses started to obviously trade online because of several issues, and one of them was related to not being able to have a physical shop open because everyone was in lockdown and a lot of business had to close, etc., etc. And of course, all of these mean that there was more templates to be released, there was more business to be made in this industry. I get that. But with the increase of demand, sometimes it's a decrease on quality and services provided. And I have verified that. I have spoken about this in several videos. For example, with SEO plugins, I used to use Yoast. SEO was one of the best. And then out of a sudden they decided, and I was in a very good plan. I even got the paid plugin, but then they went on a crazy thing, and I can't remember anymore because it was a few years ago that I changed, because obviously what they were doing was not right. I discontinued a few plugins because of that. Out of a sudden they changed the plugins, they put everything on the premium, and of course it's a little bit disappointing what is doing. I know that of course people are not going to work for free, and I understand that. I just think that if you put something for free, if you decide that you want to give something for free, at least you must include the basic for the free version of things, and then if people want something more elaborate, then they have to go on the premium version. I believe that should be the case. No one is forced to put anything for free, and if you don't want to, it's your choice. And of course, and I understand that if people just want to create templates or plugins or whatever it might be, and they want to charge for it, that's totally legit, that it's totally appropriate. And then of course clients will make the decision if they are to pay. And I must say, sometimes if things are done right, the person will pay, and they will not think it's bad or anything like that. I have had, for example, paid templates because I had the free version, but to have something that I wanted, I think in my case was the pricing tables, that pricing list display on my homepage, that the free template didn't have, and therefore I had to pay for the premium plugin, or should I say template, and I was very happy with it. And okay, I wanted something extra, I wanted something that was outside of the regular template, and I was fine. That's okay. I paid the premium template, and I have this, and I can create a few other things. I'm totally fine with this, and I think is appropriate. But these days, and I must say, and this is one of the criticisms I've got, is that a lot of templates now are built with WordPress blocks, which is the new page builder from WordPress. So it's included, it's part of WordPress. However, I don't think it is a very good one, and I think there's a lot of glitches and bugs and things like that. For example, in a recent project of mine, I was building a website, and on the footer section they had widgets that you could put widgets, and I was trying to create the footer for that website. Very simple footer. I was not creating anything out of the ordinary, anything fancy, just a company logo, the regulatory websites like privacy policy, terms and conditions, and frequently asked questions. So a small menu with those, and the social media icon, so for people to follow that company on social media. So a very simple footer for that website, even simpler than, for example, the one I've got for Updated Words, where I have the disclaimer about the orthographic agreement. I have my credentials, my NATI credential, my Chartered Institute of Linguists credential, and so on and so forth. So obviously my own footer is way more elaborate, way more specific than that one was. And I was trying to create something simple like that, and I didn't want just to shove the social media icons without any editing. I don't think it visually looks good, so I had to create a group block where I put a heading saying follow us, and then the social media icons. The problem is the template was built in some columns, and when you build the group, even though it's a group, so it should automatically create that group and set those two things as one group, and they should always be together. What would happen is that it would create a column with follow us and another column with the social media icons, which does not make sense at all. After a lot of formatting, I would end up with the this template was done with a dark background, and the client wanted icons, links, etc. in gold because that's the color of their logo. So he wanted to keep that color scheme throughout, and so the icons, the social media icons, should be in gold. I set that up, and when I was looking at the final result in my WordPress backend, I would see the gold, but in the website it would show me in black. Eventually it would show me black with 3 dots, which I realized straight away that was set as a numbered list, and what I was seeing was the bullets. So I had to solve the problem some other way. I could not put the social media icons on that footer like that because it was not going to work. There is a lot of issues with WordPress blocks. I think I'm not very keen on it. So I had to think outside the box and try to do something else. What I try to do is, these days you can have plugins installed in your WordPress that allow you a more extensive variety of templates that you can choose from and help you with this process. For example, in my case, for this particular website, for example, as I said, the client wanted a dark background. You don't find many templates with a dark background because these websites are not very common. People usually stay away from that dark background. They prefer a more lighter background with images, sometimes with video incorporated on it, even though I would say that websites with video may or tend to be too heavy and sometimes hard to load. So if you ever gonna do a website and you want to put a video on your website, make sure it's a very short video so it does not pull the bandwidth of that website, because then it will be unpleasant for your viewers. It will take too long, it will start buffering, and of course if people are gonna get into a website that is going to buffer, then they will just walk away. They won't, it's a reality. They will not wait for that video to load, and they would just move on and check another page. So be aware of this. But that's not what the video today is about. Today the video is about the templates and is about what variety there is. So in this particular case, I installed a few plugins. I found a few plugins. One of them is Starter Templates, and the other one is Templately. These two plugins, what they do, they have a bigger variety of templates that you can obviously download to your, or install in your WordPress and create your own website. Some of them are also in your regular WordPress directory where you find all those templates, but some of them are the same templates, but templates that have been modified, and on these two plugins they appear with a different outlook, so that may suit whatever you want. For example, I found a template for this client. I found a template that belongs to one of the bigger templates in WordPress, but has been modified to have that darker background and have another thing that I could obviously modify and make it to the liking of the client. So these are the two template plugins that you can use. There is an infinity of these plugins these days. I use these ones. These ones were the ones that I actually installed on the WordPress to have a little bit more choice. But again, please don't get overwhelmed with your templates, because then you will waste an infinity of time just looking at templates, and then you may like one, and then you might like another, and then you end up, oh, which one I'm going to choose. So my I would say my advice, have a predefined idea of what you want on your website. If you want a lighter background, if you want a darker background, if you want imagery, if you want video, if you want this, if you want that, just have that predefined idea of what you want. And then when you go and do that search, you put those specific parameters, and then you can shorten your, your research to get templates that might be more in sync to what you want. These are the template plugins that will help you look for a variety of plugins. But sometimes, and as I said in this particular case with this template, it's not the template that is the problem. It's sometimes it is, and as I said recently, a lot of templates are built with these WordPress blocks, and they may cause a problem, like what I encountered in this latest website that I built. And you might need to recreate an entire section of the page. And I use Elementor as my page builder. I've been using that plugin. I've been using that page builder since I started building websites in WordPress, since I started with updated words in WordPress. I think that was 2019. So I really like that plugin because it really allows you to do whatever you want, create sections on the page, change fonts, change the appearance of the whole thing, create something that is your own. So I really like Elementor. And Elementor has a few add-ons, which are obviously plugins, a few add-ons that you can install on your WordPress that allow you to get more things. Sometimes it's more sections that you can grab, more parts that you can add sections. So it is very good because you can then change, for example, if you want to put a box with the icon. Obviously, the normal your regular Elementor will have that, but if you had these add-ons, it will give you more design choices that you can obviously choose. And these are, for example, I use Elements Kit that gives you a lot of sections and a lot of options. I use Essential Add-ons for Elementor. That is another one that adds that you can build footer, etc. sections of the page. And the Royal Elementor add-on, which is another add-on that you can put on your Elementor, and Elements, unlimited elements for Elementor. So these are the 4 plugins that I actually add to my Elementor that will allow me to create sections and create a whole lot of things with your Elementor. So it allows you to take your Elementor further. And of course, if you really want, you can have the paid version of Elementor that will obviously allow you to do even more stuff with the page builder. I don't have it at the moment. I don't think for what I do, I really need to have the paid version, but it is something that I would consider if eventually I need, because it's a really, really good page builder and allows you to do so much with your website and create so many things that I really think it's, for me, it's the best plugin. It's the best page builder currently in the market. So this is a very, very good. In my case, for example, I was able to scrape the whole footer of that template and create a footer on Elementor. So I think I created it on the Royal Element or Unlimited Elements for Elementor. It was one of these plugins that you are able to create the entire section. You set up where you want the section to appear, and then it overrides the template and put the section where you want it. So this is what I did. And then now I have the website just the way I wanted, with the three spaces, or with the three columns, one for the logo, the other one for those pages, for the regulatory pages, and the other one with the follow us and the social media icons. Everything appearing the way that I wanted, the way it was intended. And I scrapped totally the footer from the template, because obviously it was not working. It was simply not working. There was something in the coding of the template that was not working, and obviously there is some issues with the WordPress blocks, that when you create the blocks, it doesn't really create the block. That group block was not actually being created as a group, because the template would separate each of the two components of that group, and I would have the follow us, the heading, in one column, and the icons that I wanted to appear obviously below the heading on another column, so it wouldn't appear anywhere near what a website should look like. So this is what I did, and today I decided to bring this. So if you are building your website, and sometimes I know this can be a little bit frustrating, because there is a lot of templates, and I must say these days most of them are in these WordPress blocks. And if you don't really like WordPress blocks, just like myself, chances are you're gonna hit a brick wall and you're gonna think, oh God, when am I gonna get out of this? It is possible with those, and these are just two plugins that I found. With those two plugins, it's good. Starter templates and Templately. It's very, very good, because you can have, more options there. You can open your horizons for more things. But then, even if you choose one template from the normal, WordPress directory, you will be able to adapt it as well with these plugins, the Elements Kit Lite for Elementor, the Essential Add-ons for Elementor, Royal Elementor add-on, and the Unlimited Elements for Elementor. All of these plugins, all of these add-ons are for your Elementor. So of course, if you want to install these plugins, you must have your Elementor page builder installed as well. Otherwise, it won't work. And this is what I do. I think this simplifies your work, simplifies the whole process of you making that template your own. But of course, leave me your comments if you think, if you have other options, if you've been working with that WordPress blocks. Let me know your experience. I really would like to know from you. And that's all for today. I hope you like this insider today. I hope you really help you see that sometimes it's not all difficult. We can always go around and find things that simplify things for us. This is my experience. I really, as I said, and I said a lot of times in this video actually, I don't really like the WordPress blocks. I think it doesn't really work well. It's very, very complicated. And I found that it has a lot of bugs and glitches and all sorts of issues, namely this sort of issue with when you have a block, when you want to create a group of those widgets to put on a website. For example, in my case, it was on a footer. That does not work, does not create that block the way you want. So it is a lot of issues there. And sometimes when it is a footer, for example, when is a specific part of your website, is sometimes not very easy to override and recreate like what I did. So after a lot of hours wasted trying to fix that problem, and even trying, really, I was at the point of giving up putting the social icons on that footer, because I thought, okay, I reached my limit. I won't be able to do it. However, I was not happy with the outcome. I was not happy with the way the website was looking. That footer was not complete. That footer did not look good. So I needed to do something. So I started researching, and that's when I found that these add-ons actually really help. And then I add another one for the footer. I had another add-on to recreate the footer. And with the footer add-on, I may put the link, the name below on the description, so you know the name of that plugin. With that plugin, then I was able to scrap the footer from that template and recreate the footer in Elementor on my own. So that was a really good one. But let me know your experience. Have you been using WordPress blocks? What's your experience? Do you like it? Not like it? How is it to build more specific websites, for example? Because I see that, for example, if you just want to build a blog or something simple, it might work. It might not be that complicated. But I can see that for a professional website, a more complex website, it might be an issue. At least that is my perception. I'm quite used to Elementor. I've been using it since I started using WordPress, and I really, really, really like that plugin. So I don't see myself changing anytime soon. So let me know what you think. What's your experience with WordPress blocks if you are using it? And what's your experience with Elementor? Do you have the paid version of the Elementor? And do you have all these add-ons, all these little bits and pieces that make it a little bit easier to modify things? Let me know in the comments below. I really want to know your opinion. I really want to know what's your experience with these things, because I think it is important that we talk about it. Of course, as always, if you have any issues, either with your website or anything else that you would like me to discuss on these insiders, just leave a comment below as well and suggest. And I am very, very happy to accommodate your suggestions. And of course, I've been asking for this for a while. Put a like on the video and subscribe the channel with a little click on the bell so you get a notification of a new insider every week. And of course, you help my channel grow. It's been growing, thank you very much. But if you put a like, if you subscribe the channel, if you leave a comment, if you share with your friends, that signals the YouTube algorithm that the channel has more viewers, has more movement, and the algorithm distributes my content to more people, so it reaches more people, it grows even more. So this is my little quest for you. Please put a like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and you help me grow this little channel. Before I go, I would like to thank you all for watching. I'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye.